Hello friends, the theme of today's lecture is Hindi Films and Mahesh Bhatt, and it is a special segment. It is concerned with the symbolic expression, and in the studio we have Manisha Sharma with us as an interpreter. And as we discussed the films of Mahesh Bhatt in the earlier part, where we talked about some of the initial films which were made by him, and how his films they were concerned with the kind of reality of human relationships. What all was happening in the society was in a way communicated through the kind of films which were made by him. We talked about a film called Earth, in which how the relationship of a husband and wife, and how this was also concerned with the issue of women's emancipation and empowerment, that how women they have to have some kind of an empowerment in their lives, so they are able to in a way deal with the kind of challenges which are posed by the ideas of modernity, or the kind of changes which are happening in the framework of the husband-wife relationships. So the film basically also talks about the extramarital relationships and the position of the women in the society. We also talked about other films which were made by him, and how these films were also in a way concerned with the human relationships. So in the context of the readings, one can refer to Gulzar et al. Encyclopedia of Hindi Cinema, Mahesh Bhatt Khwabon Ka Safar, films of Mahesh Bhatt, and then wikipedia.com. So we also talked about another film called Saransh as well, that in this particular film how it explored various themes of loneliness and the issues which were concerned with the old age and the old life, how the couple they had to in a way struggle in their old age when their son dies. So all these kinds of aspects they were being talked about in that particular film. And this film, Anupam Kher was a very young artist, and how this young artist played or portrayed the character of a very old man, and he was appreciated for this kind of a portrayal, and how Mahesh Bhatt was in a way instrumental in taking out the best from his stars or actors, and how the actors they gave their best when they were in a way shown, or in a way working with Mahesh Bhatt. And then we also have seen that apart from this film Saransh, he also made a film called Daddy in 1989, and it deals with the theme of relationship between the father and the daughter, and portrayed the sensitivity in the relationship as well. So the complexities of the relationship they are being exhibited in this particular film. And if one goes by the story, then how Pooja Bhatt is raised by the grandparents, and the various kinds of in the story it is also being shown that there are a number of reasons for the alcoholism of the father, and the way it is being overcome with the help of the kind of Pooja's love and her support. So this kind of a relationship between the father and the daughter is being shown in the film, and at the same time the kind of support system which the children can be in the context of the parents, and that is only possible when they have this kind of a bond between them. So that was also being shown in this film.
होकर आई
You
है।
can see the clip.
कौन कहेगा ये न्यूयॉर्क इलाज कराने गई थी। और तू कितनी दुबली पतली हो गई है ना?
फिर डाइटिंग शुरू कर दी होगी, क्यों तारा भाई?
हाँ साहब, खाना ही नहीं खाती, सिर्फ फल खाती है और जूस पीती रहती है। मुझे ये तुम्हारी मॉडलिंग बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है। बस आते ही शुरू हो गए ना सारे।
रहने भी दो जानकी, थोड़े ही दिनों में ये 18 साल की हो जाएगी, फिर इसकी शादी हो जाएगी और तुम्हारी सब चिंताएं दूर हो जाएंगी।
शादी? कौन कर रहा है शादी?
So in the clip, as you see that how a marriage is shown to be some kind of an important component of one's life, and how grandparents they are also talking from that particular perspective. And the role which was played by Pooja Bhatt in the film, how she is close to her father, and she definitely plays an instrumental role in terms of in a way helping him out, that he comes out of the issue of alcoholism. And the way this kind of a relationship was exhibited by Mahesh Bhatt, it was very, very sensitive in that context. Then another film which became some sort of a blockbuster from the commercial point of view, and how it became popular among the masses in the 1990s was Ashiki in 1990, and this film particularly was showing the story of Rahul Roy, who is angry with his father for marrying again while his first wife is alive. And we find that the other character in the film, Anu, played by Anu, it ran away from an oppressive girls' hostel, and we find that Rahul in a way helps Anu in becoming independent and seeking a job, and it is also being in a way conveyed, this kind of an impression was there that had Anu helped him with his career. So this way his ego was hurt in that context, and the idea of male ego and jealousy is also being portrayed. Then we find that how Anu stays behind to renew their relationship, that has also been shown. So we find that all the songs of this particular film, they were chartbusters and blockbusters, and they were liked by so many people at that point of time, and thereafter also these songs they were appreciated at different levels. And this film, not only from the point of view of a romance which was between young individuals, it was also trying to communicate that how the ideas of male ego and jealousy, they are there at that point of time. And Mahesh Bhatt, when he took both these actors and actress at that point of time, they were quite raw, and the way he handled both these characters in that particular film also speaks volumes about the kind of craft which Mahesh Bhatt had, that while he was dealing with the newcomers, even then he was there to bring out the best from them. Then he also made a film called Awargi in 1990, starring Anil Kapoor, Meenakshi Seshadri and Govinda, and how Anil Kapoor, a henchman, he rescues a prostitute Meenakshi Seshadri and places her at a music director Govinda to tutor her to be a singer, and how both of them they fall in love, and transformation happens with the power of love for Anil Kapoor. And this film also had a very popular ghazal, Chamakte Chand Ko by Ghulam Ali. So we see that how music was central to the films by Mahesh Bhatt, and all the films which became in a way commercially successful or popular, they had such kind of a music that the songs etc. they are liked even after years when this particular film was made. Apart from that, we also see a film called Sadak, which was made in 1991, which was dealing with the portrayal of a eunuch and played by Sadashiv Amrapurkar, who is running a brothel, and how Sanjay Dutt's sister forcibly made a prostitute. And the similar situation was also of Pooja Bhatt in this particular film. So film basically talks about the position of the women in the society. It also talks about the kind of corruption which is there in the police, and that how Pankaj Dheer, who is a policeman, he makes the situation worse. And we also see this kind of a nexus between the politicians and the policemen and the people, those who are engaged in all these nefarious activities. It made the situation comparatively more worse for the common people. And how Sanjay Dutt tries to seek justice for Pooja Bhatt through the kind of violence which is being shown in this particular film. You can see the clip as well.
इसका कितना? 10 का है क्या? और ये इंजन है ना, वो 8 का है। बॉडी तेरे को आराम देता है क्या? पूरा मिलाकर 40।
So we find that how Sanjay Dutt, when he was trying to seek some kind of a justice for Pooja Bhatt in the film, the way he uses the violence in the film, and this was also in a way justified in the sense that how system was against them, the way system was functioning, it was in a way operating against them, system was trying to oppress them in that sense. So we find that these kinds of portrayals where the hero is some sort of a vigilante, and as a vigilante he has to seek some kind of a justice by himself. So this film again became very, very popular. Then again a film which was made by Mahesh Bhatt with the title of Dil Hai Ki Manta Nahi, and this film was the unofficial remake of 1934 Hollywood film It Happened One Night, and the story basically deals with that how Pooja Bhatt is in love with a film star and runs away from her home, and Amir Khan is a journalist and he offers to help her in exchange for an exclusive story on her, which would revive his flagging career. So we find that how both of them, they fall in love, and the kind of support which they get from Anupam Kher as well. And this particular film basically, it in a way is trying to also communicate that how as adolescents or young ones, how children are not able to understand their parents. Similar was the case of Pooja Bhatt in this film, and how father, who is far more experienced and one who knows that what all happens in the society, the kind of people which are there in the society, so he is not happy with the kind of choice which she has made with regard to her marriage. And when he realizes that how Amir Khan has also met her, and when Anupam Kher meets Amir Khan, he realizes that he is the right kind of a person for his daughter. So though the film was on a lighter note, but at the same time it was communicating far more serious issues which are there in the society. Then we also see that there was another film called Hame Rahi Pyar Ke, which was made in 1993, and how Amir Khan is taking care of his sister's children who had died in an accident. And this film basically tries to convey the kind of sense of responsibility and the issue of family values, and how Amir Khan also takes care of the business of that particular family to support the children. And it also shows that how also the employees, they are committed to complete the work which was assigned to them. So the music of this particular film was also very, very popular, and both Amir Khan and Juhi Chawla, both of them not only became commercial success through this film, but the way they portrayed their characters and the kind of issues which were being raised within the concern of the sense of responsibility in this particular film, they were also being appreciated by the audience. Then you can see the film clip also.
आप हमें इतना प्यार नहीं दे सकते। कभी-कभी बच्चों को समझाने के लिए खुद बच्चा बनना पड़ता है। यूं ही कट जाएगा सफर साथ चलने से, कि मंजिल आएगी नजर साथ चलने से।
बड़ी मुख्य अपनी बेटी की पसंद मंजूर है।
ठहरो, ये मंगनी नहीं हो सकती।
और बड़ी तू कौन है?
ये है हमारी मम्मी और ये है हमारे पापा।
इस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के मुताबिक अगर 15 दिन में तुमने डिलीवरी नहीं दिया तो हम तुमको फुटपाथ पे ला सकता है।
So in the film clip we also see that how this idea that how one has to behave like children to make them understand the things which are important or relevant to them, and how Amir Khan also realizes this and he becomes their friend in that sense. And we also see that various villainous characters, they are also there in the film, those who are trying to create a lot of difficulties for the couple Amir Khan as well as Juhi Chawla, and how they are able to overcome all sorts of odds or the difficulties which are posed to them. This is also being shown in the film, and it also in a way tries to communicate the kind of value system with regard to the unity of the family, which has also been shown in this particular film. We also have seen that how another film called Criminal, which was made in 1995 with Nagarjun, who is acting as a doctor in the film, and how he sets out to open a hospital for the poor children, Amma Hospital. So his concern for the poor is being shown in the film, and Manisha Koirala, who is shown as the better half of Nagarjun, and how she sees the human organ smuggling racket which is being shown in the film. And we also see that how some Inspector Ramya, who plays this character, she helps Nagarjun when he is implicated in Manisha's murder. So this thing also shows the positive side of the police force, as well as the film also tries to communicate the human organ smuggling racket. And we quite often read about these kinds of stories which are dealing with the human organ smuggling racket at different points of time, and all these kinds of things, they are being reported in the newspapers as well. Another film which Mahesh Bhatt made was Sir, which was made in 1993, where Nasiruddin Shah played the title role, and how the gang wars between the Paresh Rawal and Gulshan Grover, they were acted out, and how both of them, they played the roles of the villains, and how Nasiruddin Shah, as playing the role of Sir, tries to bring some kind of a truce between both of them. And the film also tackles the issue of the adolescents' romance or love, where how the role played by Pooja Bhatt, that she wants to marry her classmate Atul Agnihotri, and this she is ready to marry against the wishes of her father. So the kind of concerns which are there in the society about marriage, they are also being raised. You can see the film clip as well from this particular film called Sir.
तू आज पढ़ना ही आला क्यों नहीं आया आज?
देखिए, यहाँ सिगरेट पीना मना है और ये पाँव मेज से नीचे उतारिए, ये लाइब्रेरी है।
मेरी बात का पहले जवाब दे तू, क्यों नहीं आया आज?
आवाज ऊंची नहीं करना यहाँ, और ये सिगरेट बुझाओ।
Talking about the kind of issues which are there in society with regard to the gang wars which are there, and how the idea of love is more resonate in the society, how it is more relevant in the society. And then another film called Gumrah, which was made in 1993 by Mahesh Bhatt. It was a crime thriller, and in this film we find that the central female protagonist, Sridevi, is wrongfully implicated in a drug smuggling case, and how Sanjay Dutt stands for her in this film, and we find that how the impact of the bad company of Rahul, the role played by Rahul Roy, on Sridevi could be seen, that she is being implicated in that case. And the film also in a way tries to show the international crime syndicates or the mafias, that how they operate, and how innocent individuals, they become victim to such kind of activities of the crime syndicates. So the kind of cruelty which is being exhibited by these international cartels of the illegal, those who are concerned, connected with the illegal activities, that is also being shown in the film. Then we also find that Mahesh Bhatt made a film called Gentleman in 1994, and the film basically shows that how Chiranjeevi owns a little business, and he is also a master thief who steals in order to build and run a school where students can freely study to become the professionals. So the police is led by Paresh Rawal in the film, and they are always on his tail, but he is always elusive, and when he is confronted by Juhi Chawla's character, then we find that he tells her that his intentions are what are the kind of intentions, what he want to do with the kind of money, and his intentions are noble, that he wants to run a school. And we also find that because of the kind of a situation that his brother, he couldn't pay the donations for the medical school fee of his brother, and his brother committed suicide because of that. So that kind of a situation forced him to think along those lines that he has to help others. So this kind of a Robin Hood kind of a character was played by him, and he wanted to give back something to the society. Then he also made certain other films like Chahat in 1996, and we see that some kind of an obsessive relationships they are being shown in Chahat. Ramya's obsession with Shah Rukh Khan and Shah Rukh's love for Pooja Bhatt, this is being shown in the film, and Nasiruddin's love for his sister Ramya, and how this particular film in a way is trying to communicate that obsession is not the right kind of measure which should be imposed in relationships. And this film was also some sort of a commercial success as well. Apart from that, we have also seen that he made a film called Dastak in 1996, and this again deals with the idea of obsession. And we find that how Sharat Kapoor is obsessed with Sushmita Sen in this film, and he starts killing her near and dear ones to get to her, and how Sushmita Sen tries to reform Sharat by telling him that he should face his problems rather than inflicting physical and mental pain. And in the end he also tries to kill Sushmita Sen as well. So we find that such kind of portrayals by him, which were also trying to portray the obsessive character of the relationships, are also being shown. And he also made a film called Tamanna in 1997, where the story was comparatively far more sensitive in nature, that how Paresh Rawal picks up an abandoned girl, and Paresh Rawal is a eunuch, and he names her Tamanna and brings her up on his own with help of a close friend, Manoj Vajpayee. And he also arranges for her education, and after her education she returns to find Paresh Rawal as a eunuch and rejects him, but later she relents as well. So it is showing some kind of an empathy of a third gender person, and emotions of a eunuch, sensitivity, feelings and concerns, they are being exhibited in this particular film, and how society is trying to treat him or reject him, that has also been shown. So how eunuchs, they are being treated as some sort of an outcast, that is also being, and how these kinds of issues they have been talked about in recent times, that how eunuchs, they should be given all sorts of employment opportunities, they should also be part of politics, that they can get elected, and this is also happening, this kind of change is also coming. Then one film, Zakhm, for which this film was also awarded in that sense, and how the issue of Hindu and Muslim was being talked about in this film. And we find that how Akshay Anand is in tune with some religious elements and he is being misguided, and how finally both the sons, they fight for it. So we find that how this kind of portrayals, for example, which was there in this particular film, was very central to the films which are made by Mahesh Bhatt. So we find that he was not only a good director and producer, but also as a film writer as well. The kind of sensitivity and maturity which was exhibited by him, and transparency in approach could also be seen. So with this, we'd like to end the discussion. Thank you very much.